The respondents in the matter requested that the court order the IPC to deposit the funds as a guarantee to cover potential legal costs in the event they lose the case. The ruling came after Swapo, President Mbumba, and the ECN initially demanded security amounts of $600,000, $500,000 and $750,000 respectively. However, IPC's legal team, led by advocate Anton Katz, argued that no security should be imposed or, alternatively, that the amount be kept at $100,000. The IPC had initially offered to pay $25,000. The court dismissed IPC's proposal for zero security as unacceptable and rejected its argument that the respondents' demands were frivolous and baseless. During proceedings, Katz also argued that the Electoral Court postpone its hearing until the Supreme Court delivers a judgment on IPC leader Panduleni Itula's challenge to the presidential elections.
We would submit that whether or not the Supreme Court matter is scheduled to go ahead on the 10th of February 2025, this court should stay today's proceedings in any event as a matter of principle, legal principle. But now that we know, and the court knows, that the Supreme Court case will go ahead on the 10th of February 2025, for your eye, the matter should be stayed.
But senior advocate Raymond Heathcote, representing President Mbumba, objected to the request, criticizing the IPC's failure to substantiate its claims. Heathcote said that IPC's National General Secretary had publicly alleged that 100,000 affidavits from voters turned away at the polls had been gathered, but that none had been submitted to the court.
What we know is that we cannot go to the Supreme Court with respect and hand up a little list and say to the Supreme Court, my lords, and if there are ladies, my ladies, will you please, for sake of completeness and transparency and speed, also determine these similar issues? Well, you can't do that in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will say, who are you to come and tell me what I will determine the case? So there may be one issue, there may be 10 issues, or they may be in my notional fictitious judgment which I delivered in the beginning, determined absolutely nothing.
Sisa Namanje, representing the Swapo Party, also opposed the IPC's bid to delay proceedings. Namanje argued that the Electoral Court, established to address disputes of this nature, must proceed without hesitation, adding that its decision could provide valuable input to the Supreme Court.
All I'm trying to say is that a court is not entitled to shy away. I use the word shy away deliberately because the court is required to be independent. And independent sometimes in a political polarized country like Namibia sometimes, people think about it when pressure is coming from the executive only and those who have made it a practice to insult all and sundry, including the judges. But sometimes is the judge not being independent because he or she fears, what, even if there is no legal bar to the hearing, what if I am found to be wrong in a hearing somewhere else? It's an issue of independence.
The court is set to deliver its ruling next Monday on whether the Independent Patriots for Change should put its challenge to the 2024 National Assembly election results on hold, pending the outcome at the Supreme Court. Emil Seibeb, NBC News, Windhoek.